Nope. Get
Welcome
a
to Where's
fucking
Lens podcast. It is
get a fucking intro. That's what I was gonna say. Clean it with the damn intro.
It is week 6, I think.
Seven?
No, week
Who?
7. I'm sorry. Okay, that means the
7 for the boys.
It is week 7 of the LCS, and I am just so gosh darn happy. You know why that is? Is because finally Cloud9 isn't just booty smacking everybody up and down the ladder. There's finally a little competition. Mind you, it's Team Liquid, but there's still some competition.
Oh, man.
And thank Christ! But before we get to talk about the games next week, we got to talk about the games before we talk about the games next week, we got to talk about our predictions for this week.
And yikes.
That I didn't fucking put in the doc. Crap. Give me 2 seconds.
You suck.
Did you not?
They're right here.
No, I didn't add them. I didn't add them to,
Oh, you didn't make the nice little
I see you.
Photoshop.
I get it. I get it.
No, I made the Photoshop. I didn't put them into OBS.
Okay. Okay.
Boom, there we go. Alright, there's the results from... Oop, let's not delete that. There's the results from this week, and as you can see, Haymant came out with a big old fat W, going 7-3, and me and Matt both went
5-5.
5-5. Now
And
that,
even Andy, a 50% Andy dude. Come on.
Alright, now that
Crazy.
has made things very, very tight when we're looking at our Pick'ems race. Because we are all sitting at 36 correct and 24 wrong. Making that a 60% prediction rate for all 3 of us. We have 2 weeks to break this up and get us a winner. 2 weeks! Can we do it, folks?
No, I'm guessing hard.
Never.
I'm gonna guess that 1 or 2 of us pull ahead in the next week, and then the week after it all evens out again, and we just like there's gonna be like a race forward, and then it's just gonna crumble because, as I was talking to Haymant about earlier today, it honestly feels so fucking hard to predict these games right now.
I'm loving
Like
it.
literally right now, I'm like, all right, I'll still pick C9, I'll pick TL, but like every other game, I'm like, dude, I don't even know. Like CG or GG CLG, which we'll get to eventually, right? I'm like, who the fuck knows? 100 versus IMT, dude. It all feels like a fucking coin flip, boys. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
I love it when people start winning against lower teams, because it means there's a little bit of competition happening. But at the same time, I don't feel like this is totally happening because some teams are getting better. I feel like it's more because some teams are becoming more inconsistent. And that part doesn't feel quite as great.
No.
But I want to talk about this C9
Jesus.
game. Because I like
thank you.
making Matt hurt.
Don't.
Because I love making Matt hurt so
That's fine.
much.
Look, it's fine, but I'm not taking the lead on this one again. I took the lead on the last 2 L's. Somebody else do it. I'm not going for the 3-peat, boys.
Anthony, just take us through it. I don't want to talk about it.
So I just rewatched this game before the show because I didn't really get a chance to watch it like acutely when it was happening. I was doing some other stuff, but C9 comes out strong and gets a very, very strong lead up until like 20-ish minutes. They've got a 3k gold lead on TL. I think they're even around, or maybe up 1 in Dragons. I don't remember. But then they chuck it. They chuck it hard. But they don't chuck it hard once. They chuck it hard 3 times. They take an entirely positional lead that, like from towers to kills, to gold, to farm. Everyone's winning, and it goes right out the window when they give up 2 shutdowns over to TL. The top side was doing all of the work to carry this awful bot lane of Sona and Lux.
Dude,
But
I have no idea. Why did they pick
TL
that?
smash them? Oh, I love it.
No clue.
But like, why did they do that?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think this bot lane is supposed to do?
Lose?
It's shields on shields on shields on shields, heals on heals on heals on.
Okay, but like, why?
Who are you gonna
I
shield? They
don't
have
either.
Mordekaiser!
They have a ton of big, bulky frontliners who are just gonna survive And that's fine, that's great, but then where's your AD damage? Is Sona actually going to be able to walk up to deal any damage at all? Lux is like, you have the ultimate, and maybe you catch an E, but there's no real big threat that you're worried about if you're TL. There's no really big, like, oh yeah, of course you're going to struggle with the bot lane in the early game in the 2v2, but as soon as you get out of there, Tactical just has range, can just poke at your front line, and then what are you going to... Okay, you can shield them for a bit, but they're not exactly the biggest threat for your team. Right? Mm-hmm. They're not that giant. If they whiff an engage, or if they charge at you and you get nothing, you can just walk back and poke at them. It's fine. It's alright. The only worry that you might have is that Mordekaiser gets caught, maybe the Trundle gets caught, and then that becomes a very bad situation. But as long as those two people are still playing optimally, still kind of stuffing those engages, then you don't really have anything as C9. You just don't.
I enjoyed watching this game and watching TL actually play some League of Legends and climb their way back into this game to beat C9. It was a treat to watch C9 shoot themselves in the foot to make it a slightly even fight in the early game, but it wasn't enough. Or sorry, it was too much damage to themselves with this pick. I see no reason that you ever want to pick this when you aren't running something like Kindred jungle and Galio and something else really tanky mid. This seems to have no real, it doesn't have enough threat. You need a marksman threat on your team. I don't understand why teams seem to think you can go without that. You can't. You just can't. You need ranged, sustained damage on a team to generate enough threat at all stages of the game. Otherwise, 100%. You will lose late game every time, especially when you pick 4 early game champions and a late game tank named Shen, who now has to deal with a Mordekaiser ulting everything.
Yeah, I don't think it was a great draft.
That was such a bad pick, and TL played their comp really well. I feel like their comp might not have been the most holistically one focused idea comp, but it had enough tools to combat what C9 were doing that it felt like it was easy for them to dismantle them once C9 dropped the ball. But they had a good early game. I'll give them that. Their early game was fine. They had to go bot lane 4 times in a row, but it was fine.
Oh, man.
So, let's move on to the next topic, which is C9 still the best? What do you guys think?
Probably not.
After seeing them this weekend. Do you think somebody is better?
I don't know if anyone's better. I just don't think... I mean, they may be still the best by, a tinier margin. And I think if they go back to, not trolling drafts, then they'll probably be up there again. Because I don't think they've fallen off, mechanically or, macro-wise as bad. I just think a lot of their drafts have been kind of weak. I think Blabber's maybe made some questionable decisions here and there individually. There might be a few more questionable decisions, but I think on the whole, they're still fine, probably.
What do you think?
It's really weird because it is the drafts. C9 is one of the 2 teams that's really trying to try something else that other NA teams aren't doing. FlyQuest being the other one, but that's another topic. And they're sometimes it's been oh, it's great, the Sun and Wukong versus TSM, and then immediately the next game, they get smashed by 100 Thieves, also running the Sun and Wukong. So they're just trying a lot of stuff when they can just do a normal draft and power through teams in regular matches, right? You can probably save these slightly weird, wonky ones for scrims who want to try it out during a week, and bring it out during a series when there's maybe one game that you can throw away. But I don't really think that right now is the best time to bring these drafts out. And they're still probably, like Matt said, marginally better than the other teams that will be in competition, like TL. But like I said, just normal drafts. I just want to see normal drafts in most of their games now.
I think going by trajectory, it's a looking at where both these teams are heading, C9 and TL. It's a lot stronger of an argument to say that C9 are probably not going to be the best by the time finals comes around. That said, Team Liquid did lose the day before. Who did they lose to? Oh, they lost to
The
FlyQuest
FlyQuest,
on
my
Friday.
boys.
So it is a little bit shaky there to say that TL is actually on. If they are actually on that full upward trajectory, if they're going to meet them there in the finals. But I do think that if you put C9 on a normal comp, they'll still beat every single team without even trying.
So the problem now is getting them back to the normal goddamn comps.
If they would stop picking Sona Lux bot lane.
That's what
I think
I'm
that's
asking
not
for
going to be a
personally.
problem.
Isn't it? At this point, I don't know.
It's going to be something new, and you're just not going to see it coming. I don't know if that's comforting or not for you, bud.
It's not.
I feel like people really don't understand why Sona was a good bot lane pick when she was. It was because you could just have a support that would also farm gold at the same time and multiply your gold output that way. That was how you did it. This doesn't happen. That doesn't happen here. You just have Lux support and Sona farm. Like, what is this? Why are we doing this? So yeah, I think that's the mistake, and that will, if they continue to do things like this, that will put Cloud9 on a weird path, and they will probably fall down and probably fall to third, to be honest, if they think this is how you play League of Legends, because it's just not. But I think they're still number one, and it's probably not very close on a normal playing field. But I do think TSM is a definitive third at this point. I don't think FlyQuest actually can beat TSM in a series, and I think that one game they won against TSM was a giant fluke because they just caught Speak out 3 times early.
Oh man, I got words for that one.
You got words. Spit them.
I think FlyQuest is probably the most solid team with the least cracks still.
You're an
with
idiot.
the least. The only time that has been the case was when Mash and Ignar have been pulling that, but apparently,
carries. What?
Yeah, I really think that right now Wild Turtle's the better AD carry, but I still think they have a solid team between the 4 players that are on there.
You think they are less solid than Team Liquid, who have not made any roster change this split, and have done nothing but improve?
I would say they're solid. I say FlyQuest is really solid. I think they're one of the teams where, unless you have really good macro and you have really good team coordination, you're not going to beat them in a head-to-head, right? I think you can outdraft them in some cases, and I think that you can find cracks, like if Power of Evil actually doesn't have a good start. That's one major thing that'll put them behind. But I think out of all the teams, they're probably the most solid. Not necessarily the one that's going to run away with a game, but one of the ones where if you give them a lead, they'll keep it for quite some time. You're going to have to fight it back from them. And even if you put them behind, they can still scrap their way into there. That's what I think. So I think that in the TSM head-to-head, TSM has been one of the teams where they've had some miscoordination sometimes. Treat has been looking better at solving that problem. But it's still a test of, all right, how well coordinated is TSM and how good is their macro going to be if they do face FlyQuest?
I feel like TSM have better players, almost in general. I feel like Power of Evil is the only player that is contending against TSM, and that everyone else is just probably better. Ignar might be close, but Santorin doesn't seem like he's that much of a star this split. Viper, where's Viper been going?
Viper is on Dignitas.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking at the wrong fucking list.
That's completely different.
You're right. It's
That's
solo. I was okay. Solo's been looking
Solo?
Okay. I'm looking at a thing on their wiki, and I wasn't looking at their roster. So Solo hasn't he's been looking stable, but he hasn't looked too hyper carry. He looked pretty good against Team Liquid. I'll give him that. But in general, he seems like he's a strong point for the team, but not strong enough.
Okay, I'll give you that. Solo is definitely he's a big tank player. There's not really much else. He might still have a GP, but we haven't seen it in quite some time. But as a tank player and being a solid person, even if he gets pushed behind a little bit, he can figure out a way to actually work around it and cater to his team. That's the one big strength in Solo. I will give Broken Blade. He looked really good on that Jace this weekend. I believe that was against 100 Thieves.
Broken Blade's been
Yeah.
looking really good whenever he picks Jace. I've actually kind of liked his Jace more than most of his other picks.
Yeah, it's really good. He was able to hammer. He just sniped Cody Sun in the mid lane in one of those games. Boom was constantly at half health because he kept on getting nailed with those EQ combos. Right, and the Lulu at
Fair
half
enough.
just, it's not
Fair
having a fun
enough, brother.
time.
He's got.
That's it.
He's only got one game on Jace this split, but I liked his Jace for a while.
Okay.
I don't like his Gangplank though. Don't pick Gangplank.
No, I don't think there's anyone who I could be. Maybe Hooney can still get away with a Gangplank, but I don't think there's any other NA tops that I really like Gangplank with.
I think Impact should probably be able to play Gangplank if you put him in a good position. If you put him against Renekton, Elise against Gangplank, it's just like what's the goddamn point, man? He's just gonna get killed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a little bit of a different take. What else is on the topic list?
FBI.
A stats machine.
He's so good at doing statistics. He can get his homework done.
Did you guys see
so
this
fast.
slide? He is first
I did
in
not,
so
actually.
many effing fields. He is first in damage per minute. He is first in kill participation. He is first in CSD at 15, gold difference at 15, forward percentage, damage per minute. Wait, yeah, that's damage per gold. Sorry, which is 1.87. I don't like that ratio. I don't like the way that math happens. And then he's second in damage percentage, which is about team profile more than anything, but it's at 32.3% of the team's damage. That's crazy high. He's second in KDA at 15, which is 5.5. I'm not too sure on that stat, but for an 80 carry, that's a lot of kills. And then kills assist at 15 is 1.7, and first blood, 3 first bloods.
He's just been going under the radar. When you think Golden Guardians, you think like, oh, Closer and DeMonte. I've never once been like, oh, FBI's like popping off. Like, I know he's there, but I've never once, like, this stat sheet is something that I look at and I'm like, has he really been doing this?
I know, right?
Like, what?
To be honest, I look at FBI and I'm never really all that impressed. Like, then he puts up numbers like this and I'm just like, wait, this has to be wrong. And then I look it up and it's right. And I feel like my entire world is shattered. And the FBI are leading the LCS. I told you guys, it was a conspiracy the whole time.
Yo, you gotta relax. I think you gotta chill a little bit, is all I'll say, but
I
just
wish I had tinfoil.
I'm glad you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be pretty gross on cam. Too shiny.
So,
Oh man.
what do you guys think of this? Like, he is top in so many fields. It's crazy how high he is.
Yeah, I have no idea. I also don't like often think, oh yeah, FBI, one of the best players in the league. And then here it comes. He is like.
Every time that I've thought about Golden Guardians, it's just been like side lane pressure. They've actually went like Closer's been making plays. DeMonte on the Galio's pretty good with the Twisted Fate. It didn't pan out this weekend, but yeah, his Galio's still pretty good. Just not FBI. And I guess that because Golden Guardians have been putting on that so much of that side lane pressure, that FBI does benefit from it. And the fact that he's able to get these kills at the benefit that they're actually to give him these. But I don't know. I would like to hear someone else's opinion on this. Like, I would like to hear what maybe a couple of the 80 carries in the LCS, like Doublelift or Johnson.
Doublelift's just gonna shit talk because it's what he does.
I know.
That's what I
Johnson would
love
probably
about
be
him.
a bit more modest.
Johnson probably would refrain from having an opinion on this because Johnson doesn't want to ruffle anyone's feathers at the moment.
That's
Why
true.
not?
That's
He's
fair.
new.
That's one of the top
about
spot
it.
laners. Maybe Tactical. Tactical feels like he could probably put out some stuff. Yeah, come on.
This is his first split. There's a lot of new 80 carries in the LCS this split.
Yeah, which is great, but come on.
Rip Sneaky.
Let's hear an opinion about
free
it.
sneaky, free sneaky, boys.
Free sneaky.
Free Sneaky.
Free sneaky 2020, dude.
Oh man.
You want
Let him
Sneaky
out.
back in the LCS, you better
Let
be
him
able to
out.
pay out the big
He ain't
bucks.
did nothing.
EG, drop bang. Put in the sneakster. Come on.
Put in Sneaky, dude. I mean, you're tripping.
Come on. With Svensgaren, with Zazel, bring back
Sneaky
the
doesn't
former
get hit by that
C9
Afro Moo Blitz hook this sweet. No.
Understandable. Okay.
Well, so, are there any other players that you feel have been impressing us? I've actually been a little impressed with Afro because he seemed to have
Afro Moo?
Afro. Did I say Mew?
Yeah.
Afro Moo. He seems like he's
What
been
the
stepping
fuck?
up again, but
Uh-huh.
has he been playing like Blitzcrank a lot recently too?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I
Yes.
think that's bad because I love me some Blitzcrank in the LCS. It's been real
He was
good. I
playing
love watching
Blitzcrank this
Corey
weekend
Oh,
against EG.
yeah, he played Blitzcrank this weekend and he looked really good that game. I loved that game. I cannot believe Dig won that game. EG, if I could say one thing, you threw harder than Cloud9.
That's true, actually.
Oh, man. It's the Blitzcrank. It's
They
whenever
threw like
you need,
dummy hard.
whenever you need those miracle hooks, he shall provide.
Oh my god. It's been so much fun watching Blitzcrank in the LCS. I was watching this game, and I'm just sitting there like, EG, you are not about to do this. You are not about to run Hooney top and throw the game. This is not happening. And then it happened. Hooney died 8 times this game, by the way.
Oh, it was great. You know the Camille Galio combo that's supposed to happen like pretty consistently most of the time?
When
you know,
did that
you alter
happen?
like never, which was crazy. It was supposed to be, the Camille's in the middle of them, Galio ult on top, and then either you ult there or it's just
What's supposed to happen is Camille hit 6. Or Camille and Galio both hit 6. And you just walk into the jungle and look for him. You go find him. That's all you do. You find him, you combo him, he's dead. That's it. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It just never happens. It's such an easy combo. Look, if I could run freaking Camille top, Jarvan jungle, Galio mid, Ashe AD carry, and like Tom Kench support or something, maybe Lux would do good in this combo. You just imagine the hell that would rain fire from long range. The long range engage and pick of that comp is absurdly high, and I would have so much fun playing that. But no, we play Camille, Galio, and go nowhere. But yes, Afromoo. So who are you guys looking at?
For good players.
For what?
For players that have been like coming up and surprising you. Either they're coming out of a doldrum or a low point and they're coming up, or they're just playing better than you thought they would.
I have no idea, to be honest. I think Afro's a good answer, but like I can't name one off the top of the dome.
I think Treats has been good. He hasn't been like.
Treats has been good. Well, who doesn't like a good treat every now? Who doesn't like a good treat every now
and then?
I mean, come on.
I've been very impressed with Tactical too. Watching him in that the C9 match, he was looking on fire. He got so many kills by just diving under a turret for one shot and poking an auto in. Oh, it was so good. Oh, that was a good game. I enjoyed that game. Matt, did you enjoy that game? I enjoyed that game.
It was a great game.
No. Let me see. I think DeMonte's been doing great stuff for Golden Guardians. Besides, like he's had like a couple off games, but otherwise, I think he's been doing great. Hanser, I thought was washed last split, but he's been showing up a couple of times. So that's a little bit surprising to me too, bringing out one of the old top laners that are still kind of all right now.
DeMonte's looking strong. I'm still not sold that DeMonte was an outright better pick than Golden Glue, but
I don't think Golden Glue's had. I watched his EG game, and his Zoe wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't something that you'd be like, oh, Golden Glue's got Zoe. You really need to be scared right now, right? It's been kind of like, all right. That's the problem with it. At least with DeMonte, I'm like, oh, if he gets a Twisted Fate, it's going to be a great time. Oh, if he gets a Galio, I'm going to be worried about it. Like, when he had that Galio in the FlyQuest game, I was a little bit worried, right?
Talking about the Immortals game?
Zoe was playing Immortals games, yes.
Yeah. I
We
feel
know
like he
that's
just
the
didn't have a
Persian
lot of
Immortals of
agency.
Cyrus.
I feel like he just didn't have a lot of agency this game because his mid lane got stuffed super hard, but Bang got to pop off like going into mid game. So that's just how they carried the game, and they didn't really need Zoe per se. Zoe was just there to provide some zone and some just some threat. Because I didn't feel like it was too bad. It was just getting stuffed. Because Smithy was like camping mid really hard. Though Alarm on Urgot's a little scary.
Okay. I'm trying to really think about other ones. I think that's about all of the ones that I'm pretty happy about.
Imagine being happy, bro. That could never be me.
Who's the other one that I was impressed with? Wow, wait a minute. I thought Someday had the lowest KDA in the league.
That would I would be shocked.
He's second. He's second after getting benched for.
He's
not. Wait, no.
No, he's not benched.
You're really getting these all.
I can't keep things straight. There's so many Oscar moves.
100T someday, 100T someday. Okay, he's really been trying to drag that.
Straight.
He's really been trying to drag this team together. It's been rough to watch because you'll see him. He'll be like, "All right, guys, I will play weak side and I will manage my lane and we'll be fine." And then all of a sudden, everything else falls apart, and he's like, "But what was the purpose then?" Like I said, I did weak side. I did my job. I didn't get destroyed. I kept up. What was the point? What happened?
He's got a 55% KP. That's pretty good, I think.
You're pretty good. Psych, you're bad.
Oh, you're not that high.
You're not that high because you're sober.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure we can move on from this right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I started making these other dumb jokes because I wanted to.
Okay. Now, we have 2 weeks. 2 weeks left. Our predictions will matter more than ever because we are tied. But what I want to know, who is going to make playoffs? And who is going to be top 4?
Me. I'm going to make playoffs.
You don't play in the LCS.
Not yet. I got a surprise for you next week, but no.
You see?
You know something I don't know because I'd love to hear it.
Honestly, a what exclusive?
An exclusive. Just an exclusive.
I would break the news here, buddy. Just for
starting
you.
AD carry for CLG right here.
That's what I'm. No. I would only play for a good team. No.
What's gonna be better? There's just the Alienware Biodome zooms in, and all of a sudden there's a Matt just sitting there like riding a Rift Scuttler.
I could shop that, but that would take me forever.
We're in it, boys. Well, if you shop it poorly, it'll be both funnier and faster. So
that's actually a picture of you riding something like a horse.
Dude, literally, I got you, dude. Give me I'll get it to you fucking ASAP, buddy. In fact, I gotta go, boys. It's been a good day, but
I didn't know I was making playoffs. And who's top 4?
Isn't it only 2? Wait, hold on. Isn't it only 2 teams not getting to playoffs now?
Yes!
Fuck. Can we just say the 2 teams that aren't making it to playoffs to be faster?
Sure.
CLG. That's one. Picking the second one's gonna be a bit harder.
That's bold, considering they're still up a game on Dignitas.
Nope, not convinced. CLG.
All right.
This man's tripping, Anthony.
The second one, oh boy, picking the second one's hard. God damn.
Isn't? It's
Maybe
FlyQuest.
It is Dignitas.
The answer's Immortals. They're down 2 games to CLG. They have to go 4-0 to have a shot.
Oh, you're right. I've been rooting for Immortals. They did have a terrible beginning of the split when their first roster was
also a pretty bad middle of the split too. No.
Yeah, it's not been great.
They've had a rough split. They've had a bit of a tough time. I can't blame them. It seems like fucking everyone has.
Oh my god, it's been oof. What's their last 2 weeks? They're 1-3 in the last 2 weeks. If they repeat, they're screwed. They have to play. No, yeah, they do have to play Dig, 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, and TL.
FlyQuest and TL do not sound like easy matches for him.
They're not, but CLG gets to play TL, Golden Guardians, Cloud9, and Dignitas.
Honestly, still not convinced for CLG.
I could see that, looking at the fact that they played TL and fucking Cloud9, but that IMT not having a much better record and Dignitas also having to play both TL and Cloud9 at the same time kind of makes me think that this bottom three might not change, and that is going to be Dignitas and IMT sitting out for the rest of the split.
Yeah, I think that's feasible.
I'm still making the argument for CLG. I have not seen anything.
The matchups don't support your argument. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. But like Dignitas is a coin flippy team right now. You don't know whether they're going to get a win or a loss unless you're against like TL or C9. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't matter. They're just crushed. TSM just beat them this past week, didn't they? Yeah. And
So they're basically okay. It is possible for 100 Thieves and CLG to catch up to third place. They can catch up and tie for third place. Mm-hmm. That's as high as they can go. That's assuming if everyone above them besides TL and Cloud9 lose out, though, which I don't think is possible.
Yeah. Well, we'll be able to find out this first game that's going to be happening. That's split 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. If they can beat FlyQuest, I'll be really impressed.
I would be pretty impressed if they beat FlyQuest. I wouldn't be totally surprised because FlyQuest have seemed like they're very inconsistent at the moment. Like they walk into a game, they don't necessarily know what they want to do all the time, and they just sort of kind of fall into a win. Maybe they get a good lead and they somehow convert, but 100 Thieves seem to have a game plan and they try to stick to it, and then if they fail, they fail. If they succeed, they succeed.
Yeah, I think if 100 Thieves like went out on a draft, they can absolutely win a game. But I really think that FlyQuest, if Ignar's still performing, because the time that they were dropping games, Ignar did not look that great at all, right? I think that as long as Ignar is good, PoE doesn't get like cramped for some reason at the beginning of the game, like it should be solid.
I think 100 Thieves are probably a shoo-in to make playoffs because their next matches are FlyQuest, Immortals, Dignitas, and EG. They do not have to play C9 or TL, and I don't think any of these teams get to play TSM. So TSM is going to have a hard road up ahead of them.
TSM versus EG. That's going to be a weird one, too.
So, I think we're all in agreement that it's CLG, Dignitas, and Immortals on the chopping block. Mm-hmm. And anyone else
I think C9, TL, and TSM are on the chopping block. No.
You're high.
Yeah, I'm also actively joking.
My prediction is that Dignitas and Immortals are not gonna make it. Matt, what's your final call on who's not making it?
Probably. Fuck. Sorry, it's a long day. I think realistically you're right. That's it. I basically just agree with everything you said, which is a pretty boring situation, but I just think you're right.
Lead us into who you think is gonna make top 4.
Okay, let me look. In order from first to fourth.
No.
FlyQuest.
Boys.
It's FlyQuest first, 100 Thieves second.
Okay, I feel like I need to tell you that's mathematically impossible.
Second, boys.
Okay.
It was a joke. Actual top 4. C9, TL, TSM, somebody else.
So who's that somebody else?
That's a great question. Anyway, Haymant, top 4. What do you think?
Who's the somebody else?
I think it's probably either maybe EG. I don't know.
You think EG are gonna rally? They've been having a slump.
They have been having a slump. That's a good point, dude. I don't know. That's why I refuse to answer because I don't know.
All right, Haymont, who's your top 4?
C9, TL, FlyQuest, TSM.
You're an idiot.
I I think we're all in
There's-
agreement that C9,
FlyQuest can't rally.
TL, and TSM are all probably going to make top 4. And I'm probably the only one who is seeing 100 Thieves make it up
In the
this
top
ladder.
4 ski?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They get to play
Yeah.
2 of the teams above them to make it there. And their other 2 matches are against some very low teams. I think they have the best shot at making top 4.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hang on, wait. Looking at this again, it looks like FlyQuest gets to play EG, CLG, and IMT as well.
EG, CLG, IMT. The IMT one, they should probably win. There's not really an excuse for them to lose. If they
It's not an
lose
excuse for
that
them to
one,
lose any of these matches that are upcoming for them, Haymont. Just saying.
Correct.
that's true.
They
That's fair.
beat Team Liquid. They should not lose to these teams.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I had a question in here about MVP, but I was saving it for next week. But
So save it for next week.
I will. We're gonna move on to our predictions for next week. So, what are we looking forward to, gents? What do we want to see? Who's got the hottest games and the
I kind of want to
spiciest
see.
ganks?
I kind of want to see EGTSM.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it would be funny if EG rallied against TSM. I'm excited for C9 TSM, obviously. I think that goes without saying. Everything else I kind of don't give a shit about.
Hey, man.
I'm also looking forward to the EGTSM game, but also actually both of the EG games, EG versus TSM, EG versus FlyQuest. It seemed like they were
Dude, I'm dying out here, buddy.
Damn.
The hiccup straight there. Let's hope your team doesn't do it next week.
Oof. Well, I hope so. I got that call.
No, I mean at least, hey, buddy, at least we haven't been hiccuping for 4 straight splits. I don't know. FlyQuest is not that good. You do not get to shit talk now, bud.
Okay.
Oh man.
I am most definitely looking forward to the TSM C9 match. I have picked TSM to be the upset. They are going to finish that trifecta of teams beating C9 out there. Oh, it's going to be glorious, and I'm going to love it. But I'm also kind of looking forward to... what's the other upset I called? You know, I thought I called a different upset. Oh, yeah, the CLG versus Golden Guardians game. Because I think that will actually have big implications on whether CLG gets into playoffs or not. Well, yeah, of course it will. But I think if CLG lose that game, they're basically screwed. Because they're probably going to lose the TL. Like, if you think that CLG are going to beat TL, you're kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a chance.
Yeah, I think... Golden Guardians is what they should be focusing on. They shouldn't care too... I shouldn't say care. They shouldn't worry too much about the TL game and focus on beating the players they're contesting for spots at the moment. Because losing to TL isn't really a big deal besides getting a free point. But if they beat TL, that means C9 is guaranteed first, practically. Alright, now, let's do a little bit of a deeper dive into the TSM C9 match. How are you guys feeling on this one, Matt? What you scared of? What is
not
scaring you
TSM
the most?
Not
TSM.
Vulcan Bard.
No,
Vulcan
what's scaring me the most, TSM C9, is the easiest answer or question you could ask me, and the answer is C9's draft. That's what I'm scared of. I'm afraid of seeing like a fucking like Tom Kench Mundo bot, and they're like, guys, we're just trying it out. I'm scared of seeing the fucking Fiddlestick Swain bot lane, where they're just like, we wanted to do Bird Boys. And everyone else in the world is like, actually, that's a fucking awful idea.
Hey, they buffed Swain.
Okay, not enough.
Maybe, we don't know.
All of a
Just
sudden
shut your
pull out-
fucking mouth, Anthony.
Hey, I'm going to go find Reaper and whisper in his ear, Swain bot. It'll be glorious.
I think we have different ideas of what glory is. Dude, I don't even know. I really think it comes down to draft. I think if C9 has like a normal, solid draft, we'll be fine. But if we do some crazy shit like Lux Sona again, then I don't think we're gonna be fine by any stretch.
Okay.
Ooh, I never noticed that before.
What's your thoughts on this game? How you feeling?
I think you give Blabber something that he can be aggressive on, something that can have a bit of control in the early game, dictate the pace of it. Give Nisky something that can roam. If he's on his Galio, if he's on his Twisted Fate, he's still good on mages. Like, his Zoe's still also very impressive. But give something for that 2v2 so that they can actually, dominate very hard. That's been your secret sauce that's been working the entire split. And, yeah, pick something normal bot lane.
Please. I'm actually begging.
Look, I welcome the bullshit into my heart right now. Considering I don't play a lot of League at the moment, whatever the fuck's going on, I love it. It's great. I love creativity. Keep going, Cloud9. You are revolutionizing the game. The more
Is that what they're doing?
The more creative you get, the better you're going to do. And that's from the heart.
The more creative you get.
Well, Haymant, you know what? I'm going to give you my man Haymant. Haymant, bot lane, off the top of your head. What they running next week?
Oh, man. Well, you see, Tarek's been one of the classic picks, so of course they're going to bring back there.
Okay.
But then to pair with the Tarek, what they're going to pair with the Tarek is going to be Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia Tarek! Now, that's
Cassiopeia.
So what about, Haymont, consider this. Consider Cassio bot with a Jarvan support, because then you Jarvan on the Cassio miasma so they can't flash out, Haymont.
No.
In the
bot lane, though? In the bot lane?
You see, what's going to happen is they're going to bring us the throwback from last split. All of a sudden, it's a Galio support from Vulcan. I'm
done. I gotta go. I'm quitting. Galio ADC. Crit Galio, Tarek support, easiest
Bruiser Galio top lane, everybody.
Smashes.
Easy clap, boys. Come on.
That was a free one for you, Reaper, right there. You take that one and you run with
Reaper, it. Do not ever listen to what Reaper, no, please. Reaper.
Crit Galio, that came from your boy. That came from the C9 right there.
I don't like it, and I don't want it back.
What I am actually afraid of from Cloud9 is like what Matt said, is them playing normal shit. Something needs to put them off their game. TSM needs to ban Olaf because that can't get through. I think if TSM has blue side, they should probably just blind pick Jace. I think they can probably flex it. Then I guess that's really the priority I see on this team. There's nothing else that I'm too scared of. I guess Galio is a pretty big priority for Nisky. He seemed to do really good on that. He's got 4 games on it, so I'm a little hesitant to give that over to him. But I think taking out the main comp is probably trying to dismantle whatever their most played comp is probably a good thing to target. Blobber seems to be their weakest point after their bot lane picking something dumb. If you can attack that properly, I feel like Cloud9 will be very lost and they won't be able to grab as firmly onto the game and take control.
Firmly grasp it. For the boys.
And that's basically their win condition. It's a lot of jungle focus, and it's to get Broken Blade on something I don't hate. I swear to God, if you put him on Gangplank one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
Something not as trolly. What do you think is the likelihood that C9 picks Senna?
Pretty high.
All right, that's an honest answer.
They have 2 games on it. Pretty high.
They've got it. They had Vulcan playing it twice. I don't know. There's also been in other regions. This is why you gotta worry a little bit. They have played Senna in the AD carry position as well.
They played
Fnatic has had
in the AD carry position too. I hate it.
That was FlyQuest, and that was not as great of a time.
I think other teams have done it.
Yes. C9 is one of the other teams. I haven't seen any other teams besides those 2. Maybe Evil Geniuses, but no. I think they did it last split, but I don't think they've done it this split. Anyhow, moving on. Yeah, there's just a really high likelihood that it might come out this game. The better question, do you think TSM's figured out how to beat Wukong Senna after 100 Thieves put a class on how it can be dismantled?
I don't really think they put a class on it. I think Cloud9 got overzealous with their comp and tried to chat out with it so that people would start banning Wukong against them because they would triple flex it. But I think all that 100 Thieves did was prove that you don't need to worry about it anywhere but top lane, really. Even in the jungle, it's probably not as strong as putting it top lane. And if you don't put it top lane, the enemy top laner gets a free strong pick. Because that means that Laker's just playing like Ornn or something defensive. There have been 3 Senna AD carry and 3 Senna support games this split. Senna support has a 66% win rate and Senna AD carry has a 0% win rate. Senna support also has an 8.0 KDA and Senna AD carry has a 3.2 KDA. Please pick Senna support. Thank you.
That's all. Oh man. I think that's probably everything that we want from TSM versus C9. Okay, here, let me throw a little bit of salt at you, Anthony. What are the chances? What are the chances that TSM picks Middle Sticks again?
Probably decent. I don't think most Middle Sticks is bad. Oh wait, did they nerf him? Yeah, they nerfed his mid lane wave clear. Because why it was good is because he has so much flat damage to a wave that he would just walk up and clear the wave in 2 Ws and the enemy laner couldn't do anything. Because if he harasses them, he just heals it up anyways.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's kind of low if they touched him, which I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay.
Try to find the patch notes. Yeah, they've reduced the healing on minions down. What is that? It looks like 40% of the healing is reduced, so that's a lot. That means he's much more like harassable in that moment. And if you're not running somebody with CC, you can't stop it.
Okay. And just to drag this on just a tad bit longer, what do you think about Spica versus Blabber? Because Spica didn't really show up last weekend, even though TSM did get the one against 100 Thieves, and they did lose a lot again. They were smashed by 5+.
I think Spica is serviceable. People have been saying to play towards Spica more, but I think it's more about Spica and Bjergsen trying to duo everything out and cross the map as a pair, rather than Spica being the primary playmaker and deciding factor. I feel like Bjergsen is a much stronger player and much better to funnel gold into, like in general. Even if he's playing something supportive like Zilean, I think it's just better to put the gold on him because he still does more damage. Now, there's been a combo people were talking about, which was, I think it was like Zilean Wukong, where you just you dive with Wukong, drop clone, and then double bomb the clone, because when the clone disappears, it detonates the bomb. I don't like that. I feel like it's a really weak combo because of how seldom the effect happens, and I don't see that. I don't see TSM trying to pull that out, but I definitely think even getting Spica on Olaf, which I think Spica's been doing good on. It just seems like, how do you spell Spica?
SPICA. Beat you, roasted, gas.
Oh man,
you suck. You suck. No.
Come on.
You suck, bro. You're bad, bro.
I just want the mid jungle duo to be more aggressive. I feel like that's.
I want Haymant to spell faster. Fucking idiot. No.
Their bot lane has to be something stable, and top lane has to be something that Broken Blade can play that isn't Gangplank. Gangplank.
Plank gang.
Broken Blade's Gangplank makes me want to hurt. His Shen's actually decent. I liked his Shen. Did he play?
Your Shen's decent, son.
Hell yeah.
It's weird.
One of the few compliments I'll ever give you.
That's just because I ult you. Don't you dare.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes a Shen good.
I'm a little worried about
what?
TSM. In most of their games, they always seem to have one player that's not really performing as well. Even in the most recent ones. So it'll be like occasionally it'll be Broken Blade, occasionally it'll be Spica. Bjergsen's just been solid. Occasionally it'll be Double Lift. No, I think that's kind of fixed itself since Biofrost has stepped out and Treats has started taking over. I think Treats and Double Lift have been a very solid bot lane. I think they've been doing well.
Yeah, I was impressed with how quickly that bot lane came together. I was pretty sure that Biofrost would be coming back when this first got announced, but looking at it now, I'm not too sure. I don't really know why they did this swap. I don't think I've watched TSM Legends in a while.
You wouldn't be able to tell from that one, my guy.
Yeah. I don't like how sanitized TSM Legends has become. It feels so
What do you mean
bad.
by sanitized?
Like, there's nothing interesting about it. Like, in the past, they would have...
That's because there's nothing interesting about TSM.
Bruh. In the
That's
past,
what they
would
want you to
have
think.
a lot of, like, the fights that the teammates were having with each other on TSM Legends. I think part of the reason that they're not there is because they're very different now, and they happen much less often, and they're a more mediated environment. Because back then it was just 5 dudes in a room just shouting at each other about how to play a video game, and now it's
every one of our
yeah, like that.
every one of our calls on the server, it's 5 people shouting at each other about a video game.
Oh man!
And now
But
it's
am
5
I
players,
wrong?
3 coaches, and a manager standing there trying to deliberate about how this should actually happen.
See, Haymant, by the way, you were laughing like I wasn't right, so I just want to get this cleared up because I don't
like having no insight into the team. It feels like it feels like I'm watching a press release every week, and I don't really care anymore.
Because you are.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
much.
that's what I'm watching, but I want to know what's happening with the team. Telling me, yeah, we had a bad week, we'll do better next week. Every time you have a bad week, and yeah, we did good this week, but we still have to improve. Every time you do good, it's so pointless. I don't want to watch this anymore.
It's would you rather watch the season 5 TSM Legends, because that was a rough one to watch too.
I want to watch
Turtles don't flash forward.
I want Game Cribs.
Turtles use Game Cribs.
Game Cribs is the progenitor to this series.
Oh man.
What happened in season 5? Was that the one where Reggie was flaming turtle?
No, that was where Loco was
I think that's the one where Loco's going buck wild.
Yeah, he was going buck wild. Yeah, Bjergsen was like, "Why are we doing these drafts? Why am I playing Lulu mid?" Turtle was like, "I just want to flash forward." Logo's like, "Don't flash forward." Dyrus is just like, "Can we just all get along, guys?"
Honestly, that's quite
"I'm new here."
That's a lot coming from Dyrus, who was sort of involved in most of the arguments back in seasons like 3 and 2. Just saying.
Yeah. I hopped on season 5. That was when I rooted for TSM.
Oh. I miss old TSM. They were filled with so much drama. Look, I know it's bad,
I miss my teams not getting along, and
I love me some drama. They still won games, man. Doesn't matter if they don't get along so long as they put up the W.
Yeah, it kind of does, but whatever, bud.
I don't care. I want W's.
There's still teams that don't get along. It just never appears in a press
release. Yeah, but that's why it's boring.
On a Twitter account.
It's so boring.
Don't worry, you'll get a tweet monger from a couple of the players.
The most spicy thing that has happened this split was 3 tweets from Meteos criticizing his coach benching him. That's the biggest thing that's happened, and that is nothing.
You're just mad.
I know. I want the drama.
You want the sauce, dude.
Okay.
Anthony's craving the fucking sauce, boys.
Right. I think we're out of topics.
You want to take us on fucking home?
It was a short episode, but that'll do it for this week on Legendary Leland Podcast. You can catch us Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv. Tuesday. You can catch us Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Nizzy2K11. You can catch the VODs on my YouTube channel. You can catch the podcast at anchor.fm/LLoLP or your whatever podcast thing you use, I think. Basically, all of them. Yeah, have a nice day.
Peace.
Yeah. Catch y'all later.